What is going on, everybody? Happy Tuesday. It is episode 7 of Discussions with Destro. And we got Mr. Austin Dayaman in the house today, y'all.
So, how y'all doing?
How's it going, dude?
Dude, I am doing great, man. I'm still coming off the high of this show.
Showing!
And, yeah, it was a lot of work.
That show was crazy, dude. That video of the full set.
Dude, that was a complete fluke. Like, thing. Jerry was like, oh, I'm going to bring it. First of all, that was going to be like a body cam, which also would have been awesome, but we never got a chance to like try it out during practice. So I didn't know how I'd feel having that on me the whole time. So we could have done that, but we didn't, and we just brought it. And Jerry had just got my good buddy from Oklahoma, and longtime friend, drum tech, just everything. He brought it and bought this like 4K lens for it. And he's like, oh, it should be pretty badass, but you know as well as I do. I mean, we put it up, and he just hoped for the best. He clipped it to a mic stand and couldn't really like see what it was going to look like, but it just, there's where it lived. And we played the show, and it was cool. We were looking at fan footage, and then he's like, dude, I'm going to hook up the GoPro. Let's see what this looks like.
Right.
And we didn't even have a laptop. We didn't have anything. We were just hearing it. It was connected to his phone via like Wi-Fi or something.
Okay.
And just from the phone and seeing what we were seeing from that, we were like, get out of here, dude. This is a perfect shot, like perfect perspective. And the sound was insane just off the phone. We were like, dude, this is sick. So that's when we shared it with everybody in Chimera, and then they did what they did with it. And, dang, the PRP put it out. And
dude, it was definitely getting tossed around in my Discord. We got some huge Chimera fans in the community too. So yeah, guys, if you guys are curious what Austin's talking about, he just recently played Incarnation Fest, right? That's what it was called.
Incarceration.
Oh, Incarceration. Okay, yeah, that's right. And played that with Chimera, and that was your guys' first show of. Whoa, what the heck?
They're saying they can't hear me, or
no, they can hear you. They wanted me to turn you up, but your video just disappeared.
Oh, wonder why.
Did your laptop go like idle?
No.
Guys, just so you know, tech problems plague Austin and Cameron. It's like it is literally a legit thing. And James.
Oh, is James in here?
No, he's not in here, but it's trying to connect to your camera. Trying to do something.
Chat paused. Why does it say chat paused?
Oh, did you try scrolling up on the app?
Sure, yeah. No, my camera's on. I see myself here, so I don't know. No, I'm over
there. You see yourself on Discord?
Yeah.
All right, let me retry calling you. 1 second. Cause yeah, it's just like loading. Oh, there you are. Okay. That was weird. All right, we did it. Yay, things are fixed. That's cool.
Everything's under control. Situation normal. Had a slight weapons malfunction, but
Steven, don't say anything about that.
All right now. We're fine. We're all fine here. No, thank you.
We had an
How are
issue.
You?
We had an issue like our last episode where we actually had to reschedule it. It got so like choppy and bad and out of sync, and there was weird shit happening. So hopefully, knock on wood, Steven then just speak that into existence, because I'm pretty sure I fixed all that. But yeah, that was your guys' first show of 2024, right, for Chimera?
Yeah. I mean, we don't generally. I mean, we just barely started playing them consistently at all. But thus far as par for the course. 1 to 2 a year.
Yeah, you guys had 2 back-to-back shows last year.
Yeah, that was insane too. To like, any of it's insane, but like I've definitely never imagined that I would play 2 sold out shows at the same venue in the band's hometown back-to-back nights. It was just
Right.
nuts. And playing the entirety of the second record, Impossibility Reason, front to back, that was pretty bananas, That was Butterfly City, and before that we hadn't played for 5 years, you know what I mean? So crazy, dude.
I wish I could have made it to that those one of those double shows. That would have been so sick.
Yeah, every show that we're doing is seemingly sold out within a week. So it's just like, if you're thinking about,
people want Chimera back,
bro. I do too, dude. But I'm just kind of like the messenger. I'm not the decision maker of all of how this goes, But I'm definitely. I'm ready for any moment in time that they want to swing harder, I'm all about it all the time.
That's awesome. So Lori in our chat, one of our mods asking, so you're on tour now? And I believe that answer is no, correct? That was just a festival you guys played, right?
Yeah, that was just a one-off. We do have, in a few months from now, we're doing the Headbangers Boat with Lamb of God and a million others.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, that's gonna be insane. That's sold out
super quick.
Crazy quick, yeah. Crazy quick. So that should be awesome. I'm taking my wonderful wife out there with me, so that's just gonna be super sick. Yeah, we've been really busy, and it's always cool when she could be a part of getting to see what I love doing, and coming out there and seeing the shredstivities and all that.
Yeah, dude, a lot's happened since we've last seen each other, bro. You're married now. Crazy.
You never thought I certainly never thought there's gonna be the final one, but here we are, I couldn't be more happy,
Congratulations, man.
Thanks, man. Super
How's
supportive.
married life been so far?
I mean, when you're with the person that you love and it's just natural, I don't feel like it's any different.
Right.
To be honest, it's just the last name's different, and just continue to work. There's always work to do to make sure things are in order, and then that we give each other the time that we need. But all that comes natural, so it doesn't feel like work. It's kind of like me doing music, right? I found something I love, so I really never work a day in my life. You know what I'm saying? And past experiences, that was work. But this is it was an undeniable. And I was 38, 30, 39, somewhere in there when we met and went through all that. So it's just I know exactly what I'm trying to find in my life. So, and she was at the same place, right, in her life, and I think it just lined up the way it was supposed to.
Nice. That's awesome. So, fucking love to hear it, dude.
Yeah.
Now I just need Cameron to find the one,
Yeah. Or A1, dude.
Yeah.
I mean,
thanks,
it. Yeah. Yeah. It'll happen, dude. He's super focused on his career right now, and hopefully us writing some new material, dude.
Right.
You're just talking about that.
Yeah. Yeah, dude.
There's no reason now. I'm actually able to do a little more, minus the technical difficulties, but that's when I just give you a call,
Of course.
I have 5 people I call now. You're just, I feel like I beat you.
Move me down to number 3. Don't put me at number 1, please.
I moved you down to 5. I don't think I've called you for any of that until today. but in classic form, 30 minutes before we go on, and I'm
we almost couldn't get this guy in the Discord to fucking get a call because he's all these issues claiming his account. He made 2 new accounts, couldn't claim his old one, and somehow logged in on his fake bot account that he never was supposed to ever do anything with. So, anyways.
I think that's what we're in right now, right? It's just, I don't know.
Who knows? Yeah, it was a disaster. I was really worried. I was like, oh great, guys, we're delaying the stream tonight because we can't get Austin inside of the video call. But yeah, well, hey, let's not waste any time. I don't want to keep you online. Let's go all the way back to the beginning. When
Dude.
did you start playing drums, and what got you into wanting to play that instrument?
That is way back to the beginning. First of all, so really, it wasn't my idea. Like, I think I always gravitated towards music and stuff like that. Definitely, like, once in a while, my mom will pull out old pictures, and there's nothing but me, like, asleep with a Walkman on, or me in a video dancing to MC Hammer, or just me vibing to music constantly. And it's actually the key moment, I think, unbeknownst to me, but more my mom and Cameron's dad, Scott, you know, when they were together, he had a band. He had like a garage band type thing. And they would come over to the house in Menifee and stuff, and in Huntington when we were there. But when I was a little older in Menifee, like 9 or 8 or something like that, they would take a break, and then I guess one time I just waltzed over to the drums and I started just tapping around, and that's when my mom just saw, like, whoa, you have like a natural ability, like, straight away with rhythm, you know what I mean? And so that Christmas is when I got, you know, my aunt found some used Tama kit, some 80s Tama Rockstar, and it started from there, and it's weird, you know, it didn't really materialize. It was just something that sat in that you haven't been out there yet, so
No, I
you'll
haven't.
be out there.
I
You'll
can't
be out
wait
there
to
one
see
day.
it. Yeah.
Kind of weird how it's like full circle now. Cameron's in the house where I first started drumming, but like this back room has zero, kind of reminiscent to my little shred shed upstairs, right? Like
Yeah.
there's no central AC in that room. It's just brutal. So like as a kid, I was much more lazy too. So if it was that hot, I was like in there for 30 minutes, sweating and like, screw this. Yeah. Let me play Super Mario. We just bought that, you know? But yeah, it was more just like playing whenever. And I think I was more like, sometimes I still consider myself this, but like, I feel like like at the beginning, I for sure was always just more of a fan of music than like considering myself to be like a player, especially in my younger years. And then like the progression didn't really even stick or hit until probably my junior or senior year, because I did do band classes, which I found some of my core group of friends and stuff, and you know, my mom influenced that decision, like, oh, you should do band, and all right, cool. So, you know, my buddy Chris that I've known forever, he's one of the last Mohicans of those friends. I got a few others from that era, but really, like, I did that, and then I was playing a lot of sports too, and I kind of wanted to continue with baseball when I went to high school, but quickly found out that they frowned on that, and it wasn't possible because they conflicted in schedules. I wanted to do baseball, football, land band, and all that, and it just wasn't happening.
Yeah.
So I had to make a decision, and then what tipped it over, really, because I was lazy and grew up, you know, remember old, maybe you don't, but yeah, growing up, I was like fatter and bigger and struggled with all that, so I was a little more lazy-minded. And
It's
when I
crazy.
heard that,
I never like even believed. I muted this, bro. Okay, sorry. They keep hearing Ramstein. I forgot to add your TikTok link, and every time you pull up TikTok, it says it's muted, but it's still playing. Anyways, I finally got it muted, so I'm pulling up your thing. But yeah,
all good.
I remember just like when Cameron would tell me, I almost like didn't believe it, because to me you've always been like just a normal weight, like, you know, I couldn't imagine you like that. And then I remember seeing pictures. I was like, oh man. So it's like drums was almost like the perfect instrument for you then at the
100%, yeah. And so just digging into that a little further, so when high school came and I couldn't do what I wanted to do, I made a decision to continue with marching band and concert band, because I heard that I didn't have to take a foreign language, because performing arts took care of taking a foreign language, which I was terrified of.
Right.
I was terrified of, so I was like, yeah, I'm doing band, and I don't have to do PE.
Yeah.
So it took care of so many things. Like, literally, I think I passed high school because of band, and many other things. But then finally, senior year came around. Didn't know what I wanted to do with my life. Was literally about to enlist in the Army, and they were
Wow.
like, "You gotta lose a lot of weight, son," and stuff like that. And that right around then is when like the first Slipknot came out. And I'd already been listening to Pantera, Metallica, and Slayer, all the greats.
Yeah.
But loving that, but like not really jamming on it. And never been in a band. And then finally I got in my first band, and we sucked, and we were called Shy Front. And my buddy Adam was a singer in that from school, and we sucked, but like there was something about it immediately that it was like, this is super fun and I love it. And that's kind of where the progression started, you know. A couple light bulb moments happened, you know, when I picked up a guitar, which I knew nothing about, and I played a riff when everybody was kind of like hitting a wall, and I asked the guy to like show me how do you go and show me, like, you know, and he was like, "Oh, we're in drop tune, so every fret is a bar is a chord."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was like, "Oh, perfect, that's perfect for me."
Yeah, you love drop tuning.
Yeah.
I love drop tune.
Yeah. So from there, I came up with a riff that I heard in my head that I was just basically was my feet, and then I showed it to him. I passed the guitar to the guitar player, and he could not learn that riff for like over an hour. And
you always do this.
The light bulb went off.
Dude.
I was like, I think I have something a little more deeply that I need to pursue, you know, like, and it's weird because that's the guitar, and it's like not even the drums, you know, but
right.
But certainly, I know I'm all over the place, but certainly that Slipknot record is something that got me hyped. I was in marching band, so like hearing all the extra drums and all of that, it's just Joey's ferocity of just being able to play four on the floor at times and have it be so powerful, just boom, 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 boom. I'm like, dude, I've never heard this approach. And then from there, just spastic cadences of like paradiddles and like stuff I was doing in marching band. I was like, you're doing that on the kit, dude? This is crazy.
Yeah, I always loved his snare sound, dude. Snare on that first album is so iconic, dude.
Dude, 13-inch. That's a banger ass snare. Most metal drummers, and if you're a metal drummer and you don't have it, you should definitely go get it. Pretty much all you got to do with that snare is just tighten it as much as it'll go. And nowadays they got that hybrid head. You can just throw it out on there, and it will crack, and it'll make your mom proud. So. But from there it was on and popping, and that band disbanded. Right, a couple people they just wanted to go wherever, and I had a buddy at the time who was in a band called Driven, and we had actually been sharing a studio lockout, and one thing led to another. Through a friend, knew a guy that like was well connected with all kinds of bands, and that's how I got to hear about Wayne, who was in Bleed the Sky. At the time, he was in a band called Ender or something like that. And this friend that I had gotten a hold of, he was like, "Well, this is their last night, and they're gonna be looking to last night playing, and they're gonna be looking to be in another band instead of like form another band." So I went and checked that show out. I absolutely hated the music, and I was like, I'm not so into it. And then the guy was like, "Well, what are your influences?" And I told him, I'm like, that sounds, and he was like, "That sounds like you might connect with this other guy I know, Noah, who ended up, you know, being the singer in Bleed the Sky and stuff." So I gave him a call. We chatted about our influences and this and that, and we scheduled to meet up. And at the time, I had my drums set up in my old room, not even upstairs yet, back at Turner's house, my stepdad. And he came over, and I was immediately playing like Future Breed Machine on like Meshuggah, and he was just like, okay, like we need to like start jamming some stuff, you know. So from there we hung out a couple more times. They had some parties, and we just broed down, see what that would be like, and then we started renting a rehearsal spot out and just cutting through stuff, and started from nothing, you know, just a couple riff ideas, and boom, Bleed the Sky was formed, the first version, you know. The guy I was talking about, the friend, he ended up being the bass player. He kind of weaseled his way in there, but he wasn't very good. And so it morphed until it formed completely, right? And that's how Bleed the Sky started, right? And we jammed a bunch of songs. as much as we could, and started putting together little demos. Kyle was the guy that he went to MI, so he kind of, Pro Tools was just hitting the scene to where like anybody could just own it, but like it was still expensive for the time, so not anybody just had it.
Yeah,
but he did, you know. So we were able to make some cool demos and kind of get a flow. Like if we weren't vibing in the studio, which wasn't often because we were so new, so we were pretty electric out the gate. But even on the back end, we'd leave there and spend the night over at their house. They all rented the same house out together. Hilarious. And we would just jam in his room for hours after that. It was just that's all we wanted to do, you know. And then Wayne contributed in all kinds of ways, whether it was riffs and this and that. But his real big thing that got us in all the doors was just his business mind. You know, he had plans. I was always more
Wayne
of the,
is so smart.
It was crazy, but he you know, it's his tenacity to sell anything, you know, like, and he was confident in what he had in front of him, and he was like, I know I can get us in some doors, if we get in them, people are gonna realize, you know what I mean? So he made that the priority pretty quick, and he did. You know, we had 4 songs, brand new band, barely finished our 4th song, wasn't even sure that it was exactly what we wanted, and he got us on our first show, sold out show with Opeth at the Galaxy, which is now called Observatory.
Observatory,
right?
Damn,
California.
dude, that's crazy. That's sick.
Yeah, we were shitting our pants, man. We weren't even like the version of the band that like got signed yet. Like we were not good. We were fresh, but we were all about it.
Yeah.
Those fans hated us, dude. I don't know what we were doing, but we were doing it. Mom's got that video, dude, on VHS somewhere. Literally, like Turner came with that guy. You know?
What year was this?
Oh my God, that must have been 2002. Dude, I was 19. I couldn't even play. Like, we were playing bars once in a while, and I'd have to play the show and immediately get out. And one time it was like my birthday, so somebody tried to slip me a drink, and somebody noticed, and they kicked me out.
No,
and we had just luckily we'd already played, but yeah, stuff like that, you know, beginning days, dude. And yeah, then we went on a run, man. We went on a run, man. We got signed from a random label, it's not a random label, a random website that Wayne had put us on called GarageBand.com.
Oh, I remember GarageBand.
Dude, yeah, so we were on there, and we literally got emailed to the band email, like an offer for Nuclear Blast. And we all thought it was fake at first. Whoa. Because we're like, yeah, right. Meshuggah's on here, like stuff like that, you know, like Makuna, like all these bands that were like popping. They're like, there's no way. So literally, I think we had my mom look at it to make sure the email was like legit, and she's like, "This is a fucking real deal, you guys. Like, this is legit."
So Nuclear Blast was your guys' first record deal?
Yeah, wow. Yeah. That was the only label we were ever on, I believe. Yeah. So we were green, you know. We signed a very bad deal, and that started.
As do most young
that
bands.
Pretty much started the decline, and before we even knew it, we didn't care. I don't think, like, we were just so young, we didn't know any better. We didn't care. I mean, sure, would we have been a lot more happy making some money? I'm sure, but like the times that we had out there making $5 a day and barely coasting in on fumes out on the road for like 9 out of 12 months, and like nobody making money. Yeah. But we were just getting tanked every night. And just
you guys were just like in the van setup at that point, right? Do you guys have a trailer, or everything was like in long extended van, or?
The first one, so we had this kind of CD manager. He got us into some places too, but yeah, just, you know. But he went on one of our first tours. I think it was our first tour, and he rented this like Bounder RV, and
Nice.
yeah, that was interesting. But we had all the gear in there. We destroyed that thing.
I bet.
It was so bad, dude. And we didn't have money to like in the first place, so we ended up owing that manager a bunch of money because of all of that. But he went on the road with us. It was interesting to say the least. But yeah, man, those days were chaotic to say the least. You know, like.
Yeah.
But I would never take anything back for it. You know, I learned so much out there, and mostly just learned. You just do stuff because you love it. There's no guarantee that was ever going to be a thing for me or anyone. Just because, you know what I mean? You can only hope for stuff like that and just kind of put your nose down and push forward. And, you know, I feel very lucky that I got to do that at such a young age. And then that led me into other scenarios where I got to meet next individuals in my life that spoke highly of me and got me into my next positions. Really, you know, I mean, I'm no dummy. Like this stuff doesn't happen on completely its own. You gotta put in the work, but also there's what I've learned through the ways is like it's more than just being good. You know, you gotta be likable, and you gotta be consistent. You gotta show up. You know what I mean? It's just. It's like many people don't think this is a job, and it's like, but it has job aspects. When I look back on it, it's like, why am I employable? Because I'm consistent and I show up for each record and knock it out the park, and I show up early to practice. My shit, you know, I don't show up with bunk gear or excuses or like, you know, because why? Because I get fired. Sound familiar? That's a job. Yeah, right? That's a job.
Who would have thought?
It's like, I think musicians like should start, if you're taking this seriously, like you should be looking at it like it is a job, like, and I need to have those antics and that way, that parallel, you know what I mean? It's not just like I don't just get to just like, oh, it's my heart, it's my spiritual, like I have to like separate that, like, it is that, but I also have to have this.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
you can't just show up and be a dick and be all effed up and this and stuff, and just I'll be cut, you know. But yeah, so moving along, like Bleed the Sky's first record, we did really good. Well, to us, we did good. I think fans probably like that record the most. Is from what I always hear. I mean, we still put out stuff now, but it's shape shifted so much that it's awesome that we still got, you know, fans and stuff to me too. But now I feel like we're making new ones that maybe didn't even like the first stuff, because it's like our new stuff sounds like completely different. Yeah. It's like more guttural and interesting, super interesting. But I'm psyched to just keep the name going around. And off topic, but I was like having a conversation the other day about like how it's wild to me there's certain bands that literally don't even have an original member in it, like Chelsea Grin. Chelsea Grin doesn't have one
crazy.
One member that was an original, but yet it's a thing.
Yeah.
And they're like headlining big stuff. I mean, I think I used to think that's crazy, but I guess like in the end of it, what I think is crazy is the collapse of a brand, just, you know, because people don't want to do it or whatever, when you could, you know, for the members that wanted to keep it going, you could bow out and like let it continue, because people can still hear the music under that name. I don't know.
That's true. I get that.
I don't know what to say about it. It's just, I'm just so much more open to all. It's all music in the end, and people. Music's therapeutic, and it's like people want to hear their favorite songs, and you know what I'm saying. Who are we to like just put the kibosh on it just cause or whatever?
Right.
You know? I guess you can go see one of them all-star like killing it cover bands, or that stuff's massive nowadays. Yeah. Which is wild to me. Yeah. Like, wild. Like, they make. Sometimes I've been hearing things like they're making more money than like original bands.
Bro, I've heard that same thing, dude.
So crazy. It's so crazy.
Yeah, pretty nuts. Yeah, that's nuts. Yeah, dude. Some of the stuff going on in Nashville and all that is like some of those musicians make a lot. Yeah. Depending on where they're playing and whatnot. Greta Van Fleet, somebody says in the chat. Yeah, that's a perfect cover band.
Nailed it. But at the same time, it's like, dude, that's kind of dope. Because it's like, had they not done that, what's bunk is that when you read about how half of them or all of them are like, we had never heard Led Zeppelin before. It's like literally, bro, literally, like your entire sound, like even your tuning of the drums and every approach of everything. There's no way that's by a coincidence. That's nuts. That's nuts to say. But I will say, I think it's awesome because the youngsters need to know about the old music where all this came from, dude. It's important.
Dude, the amount of people I come across that are like younger than me that have no idea about any classic rock, I'm just like, dude, all these parents failed you. What the fuck? Like,
for real. But it's more than that. It's just like, it's more than just knowing about like past music. It's knowing about the past music's process and how much more insane it is that existed, how they made that exist.
The equipment that they had.
Dude, the way they had to record, let's go back to like the 50s. Everybody's in the same room. If one guy messes one note up, you're starting the whole song over.
And you're and you're having to redo over the track or get new track feed. It ain't just like a push start re-record on a space bar like it is now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's wild, dude.
It's wild to me that's how good you had to be to where now it's like you can kind of just be okay and like get the take eventually. Which is like, it's a blessing and a curse because it's like it promotes mediocrity, right?
Kind of like let's sidestep into something like that. So what is your opinion on like a lot of the newer metal now, and with the way editing is and how precise and on grid like that everything is so
while ago. Now I'm in the phase, I don't know if it's because I'm older, I'm just in I'm back to like square one and just appreciating again. And maybe that's because I've had a break. Now I'm getting the steam and fire back going again. I guess I'm in listener mode again.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, I feel as connected as I did when I hear something new, when I didn't have any on me to like, better be the best, you know?
Yeah.
Because that's what it turned into for me over time. And it still does anytime I play a show, right, or anytime I have to write something new for something big. That still happens, but I definitely prefer to be a listener. It's awesome. I love doing the work. But the other lackluster part of all of it is like I get into that there's so much stress, and then I deliver something amazing. People are like, oh yeah, this is sick. And then it like kind of like I don't spend much time enjoying that. Like in my mind, the way it works is like, okay, so what's the next thing? It's just like, dude, shut up. Like enjoy this for a little bit. You know what I mean? But so it's been nice to go back to listener mode. So I guess I don't have too many opinions about it. I'm just kind of amazed that it is where it is and it can do what we're doing. So I think it's just as much of a skill set to be able to know how to do all that and put the time and effort. It's just a different animal, you know what I mean? To where it was more meat and potatoes before, it's like meat, potatoes, veg, dessert, and meal 6. You know, it's just like you got to be all of that, and I struggle to have all of that. So my hat goes way off to anybody doing it now because it's different, you know. And if I was like cross my arms about stuff, I feel like that's where I'd stay, and like a lot of us old heads do, you know. And for me, like I'm just trying to get that young energy within me that fires me up because I know that just means there's that many more helpers out there for me to lean on to like keep staying relevant, or at least boost me up to where I think I can, you know what I mean? And it's an honor. I just go back to that part. It's an honor to be a part of the musical world at any degree that I get to do it, you know. And it's real. It's real surface level for me on that. It still trips me out the stuff that I've done and continue to do because I didn't ever expect it, you know. And I think that's what keeps me going is live not expecting things. When it shows up, you're like,
Right.
so appreciative. You're so appreciative, you know what I mean? And it's one of the only things in life I know how to just show up for because I love it. So it's just like catch-22, right? And I don't know, just keep that attitude of gratitude, you know?
Hell yeah.
I want to know who Austin is listening to these days.
I was actually thinking of asking this question, Lori, but I don't. But yeah, let's go for it. So yeah, what are you listening to these days? Whether it just be metal or even just music in general. What's like the recent new kind of vibe or bands that you've been getting into that you dig?
I definitely have caught on to like. I mean, I think a band like Sleep Token is incredible, because it's just so different. You know what I mean? I feel like they have to be feeling the pressure of this latest upheaval. Yeah, dude, because it's like it's so
I hated
different.
them so much at first, so much, dude, bro.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we're old and like singing in metal. That's tough. You know, it was even tough for me in Bleed the Sky. You know,
dude, I really don't know if I consider them a metal band. They're so out there on so many things, especially on their last album. It's like
it's kind of like a more serious 12-Foot Ninja. You know what I mean? Like 12-Foot Ninja is like gnarly in their own regard. They're more on the gnar side and spastic and stuff, but they do it all. They do all kinds of weird, like in like Infected Mushroom, right?
Yeah,
they do
Infected,
everything.
it's crazy,
but
dude.
they have it so dialed, so it's like a mixture between the singer's ability to like go everywhere he goes, because to me he sounds like he has this approach. You can maybe listen to this later, and they even go into moments of it, but you're probably completely unfamiliar with who I'm about to say. There is, and I don't even know what to call the style, almost like blues, electronic, like I don't know what to call it. But it's heavy. There's this guy. His name is 2 Feet, and he does these amazing, like just very. His approach sounds to me like what the singer is emulating in a lot of the slower parts, and they even go like stuff like that, and like that reminds me of this guy 2 Feet, and then the way he's singing over that's pop. We're just doing a pop part out of nowhere. You know what I'm saying? And then throughout all of that, we got a gospel drummer doing all these gospel chops.
Dude, he's crazy on drum. Their drummer is nuts, dude.
It's just tasty. It is controlled chaos, man. And they've got it, a formula. You know what I'm saying? Like I haven't heard anybody with a formula like this since like Gojira. You know what I mean? Like not something that was going to get that big. You know? Yeah. And they've certainly done it quickly.
Yeah.
So it's going to be hard for them in my mind to continue with that, you know. But like a good tour, I would say would be like them and Ginger, and like who else? I'd love to see Verona on a tour like that, dude. Like I think it's weird. It's weird to release your own album these days and not have anything behind it, but yourself. And I've been a part of a lot of those, right? And
I don't know anything about those.
Huh?
I said I don't know anything about that.
But it's interesting because it's like it does matter, and a lot of people think it doesn't matter, and like maybe we just don't have the formula or whatever. But of getting it out there and just getting the views and all that, and it's just a weird, different world where all that has got to be prevalent, and then I don't know. I haven't got it mastered, that's for sure, but I think the products that I've been a part of that have come out as full-length version albums are great, you know. Now it's just a matter of getting some of them out there and getting some favors, I guess. Maybe just old school tactic, getting on something bigger that will favor the band, you know, because I know I have a couple projects that if we got a decent, even an opening slot on like a tour that was gonna have a lot of heads there, we'd have some buzz, dude. Guaranteed. Doesn't matter which one, you know. It really doesn't. Yeah, does not matter.
maybe you know of him through other parties, but do you know Colton Crawford from the Dead South?
Yeah,
You know him through Mike. He's like, I think him and Mike have definitely done stuff.
Yes.
And
well, I'm supposed to do something moving forward. It just didn't line up. I had a lot on my plate at the time, but I was gonna do something, which just didn't line up. But I think there's some more stuff in the works there that I'm gonna be able to do this time around. So looking forward to that.
So yeah, I've told Colton, I've been bugging him like always. I'm like, yeah, so eventually Silvercord's gonna open for Dead South on a tour, right? And he's like, let's do it. So that would be sick. I don't know if you've ever listened to them, but dude, their vibe is like bluegrass, but I could totally see us choosing a set list that would totally work with that for sure.
Oh yeah, we're all over the map, dude, and it would be such a vibe, like, because we'd just be jamming. Like, even when Cam and I did these songs a couple weekends ago.
Oh, I can't wait to talk about this more later, to be honest.
That was fun, dude. I mean, we had like 2 practices, so it was really loose, you know what I mean? And just had fun jamming old songs, dude.
Yeah.
Like, people were like, dude, we want you to play our wedding or whatever, all this stuff, and we got to thinking, we're like, well, maybe we will. Shit.
Yeah. Don't make me want to move back just for that, dude. Yeah, Wayne was with you guys, right?
Yeah.
That's fucking cool.
Yes, sir. Yeah, we had some working on some new Bleed the Sky stuff.
Hell yeah.
Working on a bunch of stuff. Working on new Elite stuff. I've got my studio back at the mom's upstairs, all firing in action, and I can actually record my own drums now too. So
nice.
All of you listen out there, I'm open for sessions.
Hell
Even
yeah.
if you're just doing whatever, but you want some dope drums, you can hit me up at fnostyle@gmail.com. Yeah.
Hit him up
Should I
if
put
you
that
guys
in?
need some sick drum recordings.
Yeah, put it in here. Shameless plug,
Go for it. No, you're all good. Drop it, dude. Damn.
Yeah, so yeah, I'm pretty much just doing this. I'm doing lessons at this rock school in Fountain Valley out here in California, and I'm just working on all kinds of stuff. There's this one cat from Romania that hit me up for some tracks.
Oh, sick.
I've been working with the guy at Did I do it? Did I even do it?
I already
right?
typed it into the chat, but
Okay, I thought I did. But it didn't.
well, speaking of you and Wayne, okay, so we had left off talking about Bleed the Sky. Bleed the Sky put out 2 albums before you guys parted ways, right? Or did you actually end up leaving them as they were still?
So the second record is 2.0. So some of the riffs kind of carried over to 2.0. Wayne left, Kyle left, Galen left, and Puck left.
Oh damn!
And it was just me and Noah, and we assimilated a new roster of gentlemen, and that was Ryan Clark, Justin Warwick, at the time Dave Coldberg, who ended up joining again for our third record, but it was also this other guy, Rob, Thornton, R.I.P. Yeah, he lost his battle to addiction while we were on the road. We had to let him go because he was going through a lot of stuff, and then 6-7 months later, we got the call. Yeah, man, and but that was rocky from the get. Even the recording.
I remember that mix being quite different.
It's pretty not cool compared to the first one. And that
came out just a year after the first one, 2004, 2005.
So the first one came out 2005. I think the next one came out 2007.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then we did some pretty decent tours. Even one with Soulfly. That was probably my favorite one,
nice.
where we actually were treated right. was a cool story that like on Thanksgiving we were out on the road and happened to be en route to where they were all living at the time, the Soulfly camp, and Max and Gloria personally invited us to eat Thanksgiving dinner with them at this restaurant in Phoenix.
Oh,
and
sick.
It was insane. They rented the whole restaurant out. It was a Chinese restaurant, but they made a Thanksgiving dinner. It was interesting, but it was so cool, so warming, and they always made sure we had food and kicked us a little more if they had it, and it was a great. I think that was one of the last tours Bleed the Sky ever did, as that version, and then yeah, that was done in 2009. But all during that moment in time is how I met Rob, and we assimilated. During the first record, actually, is how I met Rob, because TJ and Joe from this band STEM, they were out there with their whole band in Cleveland.
Fuck.
And
yeah,
Rob,
from STEM. Okay, yeah. One of the fuck, I'm trying to remember. I don't think either of the names you mentioned streamed on Atrex. Who's from STEM that streams on Twitch? Maybe it's Rob. Or what'd you say? You said it was
Joe.
Or Joe? Oh, maybe it is Joe. Is the front man?
Long hair.
Guitarist and singer?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, he streams on Twitch. Okay, so I know. Oh, okay, Atrex didn't know. I know Joe. He streams on Twitch, or did stream on Twitch. Him and I have definitely chatted a couple of times. I think he actually messaged me when I made the first announcement of your podcast. And then you mentioned Soulfly, but that was way before like Mike Leon. Do you happen to know Mike Leon, who's their bassist now?
I don't
No.
think so. Maybe. I mean, I'd have to see his face. But
Yeah. He's a streamer as well. I just know a lot of you metalheads that have been in the game for quite some time, in and out of multiple bands and different projects, all kind of, you guys have good connections, I feel like, and from what I've heard from stories from you, it just seems like everyone kind of always stays in touch. I believe you were just working out with Brandon Chapetti the other day, which that's fucking amazing.
Yeah, so I've known about his gym in Huntington Beach out here for quite a while, and Devil Driver, we played a show with them once upon a time in Austin, Texas, some fest. That's when I met him the first time. But actually, the way I went to the gym was I was meeting my buddy Jake from back in the day. He's a singer of this band Mantis, and we were just chatting. And he's like, "Oh, let's go work out at Brandon's gym." I was like, "Oh, dude, I've been meaning to do that. It'd be awesome." And we ended up going there, and we didn't even really work out for the first hour. We were just talking about metal. They were showing us, it was just, we were just throwing music back and forth, showing each other some pre-production stuff for all kinds of stuff. And
that's sick. Is he working on anything?
I think they're working on some new Bleeding Through stuff. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Sure.
They just had like an anniversary show, right? Or they're about to have an anniversary show.
I went to that. Yeah, it was well, the one I went to was Unearth and them. And
okay, that's the one I'm thinking of. How was that show?
It was sick, but my age is showing now. But like, Unearth was so loud. I don't know what happened with their sound guy, but the highs were so brutal.
Oh, that sucks.
Probably one of the first times I was ever like, dude, I should be wearing earplugs, because it was just
too much.
It cut, dude. Like even the next day, I was like, what? Just like, whoa.
Yeah.
But
Unearth is fucking awesome live. I love that band. Yeah, we had some weird issues. Me, one of the people in chat, Atrex, they came down for one of the In Flames shows, and like the first like 4 songs, it's like they had the front of house off. The guitars sounded like they're in the back. Same with the vocals. It was just like drum and bass up front, and then somebody realized it and fucking moved up a fader, and then it was like, oh yeah, I can hear shit again. Hate that. So annoying.
Love when that happens.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So after Bleed the Sky, dropped those albums and reformed a little bit. Ended up joining into another band, correct? Pretty popular one, huh?
Yeah. That's so again, back to talking about how I got into the Elite and stuff. When I met Rob, met Rob when we were recording that first Bleed the Sky record, and TJ and Joe were there doing a song called Division with us. We wanted them on the record. But simultaneously, they were being managed. Like Rob was managing bands, just trying to help them get signed and this and that. And their plan was to do their tracks and then go to meet with Rob at Chimera's studio where they jam and all that. And I heard that, and in my mind, I didn't want to be rude, but in my mind, I was like, I don't know, a light bulb just went off. I was like, dude, that would be so sick if I can go meet Rob. And
Right.
I don't know. But it ended up happening. So, they invited me. TJ was like, hey, so I want you to come meet Rob. I think he'd dig you a lot, and it would be really cool for you guys to meet. And then maybe you can give us some insight on some of these tunes with him and stuff like that. So I was like, dude, I'd love to. So I pull up, and I was just like starstruck immediately by this situation. I wasn't really starstruck by Rob, other than like, dude, I love Chimera. This is freaking weird. I haven't really met any of the people that I'm currently listening to. And he was just like I still refer to him as the gentleman of metal, because he's just like the nicest dude ever. And like their music's so not nice. It's just tough and brutal, right? I get in there, total jam environment, but like way more pro than anything I've ever owned or been a part of for rehearsing. And they had a whole like drum riser and huge subwoofer monitors. He was running triggers, which I had never played on.
That's sick.
Andals' kit was just front and center, huge Chimera banner in the background, and I was just throwing back, and all the guys set up their gear. They played a couple songs. I was just trying to like make some kind of impression the whole time. I was like, so we got to jam somehow. Like in my mind, I was like, how are we gonna? That seems ludicrous. Like I'm here, this guy's already in Chimera. Like, what? Why would he care? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I literally just try to enjoy it. But like at the same time, my mind was like, that would be sick though. And so it was weird. They jammed. And they decided they were gonna take a break. And Rob came right up to me. He was like, hey man, like seeing you over there, I totally dig your vibe, your West Coast vibe. So I was probably Seawalk doing something ridiculous. Right. And he's like, what do you think about like just get up on the kit and let's jam something? And I was like, okay. So I'm gonna get up on Handles' kit and start jamming. And we did, and I was just like overzealous, and he was smiling right away, and we were just impromptu jamming, and it was just like lightning just hitting immediate, and from there it was kind of a wrap. And he was like, dude, let me give you my number. Like I have my own recording setup. I can start like writing some songs and see where it goes from here, and then from there I listened to a bunch of stuff. I jammed to it a bunch. And then the next tour Bleed the Sky we had a day in Cleveland, and I got picked up, and we recorded our first little shit demo with like 2 mics, but it was enough to make it all out, and then decide, this is something else. And then we had it professionally recorded as a demo. I think you could still go hear that, just the demo, the first 4-song EP that like got me a glimpse into the future, because Mark did a song. He heard Rob was working with me, and he listened to the song. He's like, "Whoa, this is fucking awesome!" And I want to be on this song. Yeah. So he did, and it's just called like the World War III EP or something. I
remember this.
Yeah, and so all the while, that's how I met the rest of the Chimera guys, and they knew of me at the very least. And so when Bleed the Sky was done, I was in Oklahoma at the time. I moved out there for everyone. And
oh, that's right. I remember that too.
Yeah. I decided, I'm in Oklahoma. I don't have my band. I love Oklahoma, and it showed me a lot about life and stuff. But I was just super nervous and scared, and seeing how there were other dynamics of the bands there, and how they felt about where they were at. And I was like, I don't think this is it for me. I don't, you know what I mean? I need to go back to LA and get to somewhere central to what I want to do. So I got back home, back in with my mom and all this stuff. And I was kind of resentful because I was bummed that Blade the Sky had ended and stuff for my own reasons and stuff. Shortly after that, literally like 5 months after that, I was just kind of doing a bunch of nothing and kind of being in my head. And I got a call. I got a call from Rob, and it was really vague. It was kind of like, hey man, what do you think about I want to have a 3-way call with you, Mark, and I. And immediately my mind's like, there's no other reason that he'd want to have this call with me unless like I'm going to be asked to do something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I was just like in shock. I'm like, yeah, of course. And then sure as shit, that was it, and it was like a very quick, candid conversation. Like, hey, so one thing led to another. Our drummer Andals is no longer in the band, and know you, but we don't know if you're like fit for Chimera, but we definitely want to try you out. I'm gonna send you some songs. Can you fly out in a week and come jam these songs? And no pressure, right?
Right.
I'd like to add to this because I didn't tell the guys this at the gate. Of course, why would you? You would never. But I told them later in life that during that time, to get back to California, I had to sell everything. Everything. I sold my drum kit.
Oh, shit.
So at this time, I didn't even have a drum kit. I didn't have a drum kit. I had pedals, probably a couple cymbals, but I didn't even have a kit. I was going through quite a bit at the time. I wasn't sober, if you get my drift. I was just going through it in my own little pity party and just kind of going through some crazy emotions. And so I quickly got my shit together until they like stopped everything I was doing at that exact moment. I got some sleep and did the only thing I could do, which was still to this day how I learn songs. See, the good thing about this process though already is that I was a fan. So I had listened to these songs that they had given me to learn so many times already. I think Resurrection was probably the only one that they sent me that was like, oh, I haven't heard this one as much, so I'll listen to this one more. So I think it was like 5 songs: Pure Hatred, Power Trip, Cleansation, Resurrection, and maybe like one other one off of Impossibility. I used to have them all memorized. Maybe that was just those 4. But literally, I did not hit a drum until I was right in front of them.
Wow.
I air drummed, I played on my lap, I listened to it night and day. I listened to it literally with it on as I was falling asleep, like just like that was gonna matter. Like, you know how people study and they have that on.
Yep.
Yeah. That was at least my thought.
Lucid dreams, dude. Make
Further.
it a part of it. Yeah.
So yeah, when I showed up, I had never.
And they didn't know this?
They didn't know. Why would I tell them? That would have been like the most mind-boggling.
Of course. Like
stressful. Like I would never tell them that. I told them later, but see, like again, I was such a fan. Like the other songs were like obvious. You know what I mean? Like I knew those songs so well. Like air drummed them on the way to every fucking Bleed the Sky show. We all headbanged to that stuff every day. Like just cause. So like I knew those were just like gonna be nothing. Obviously, like the stage for it all though was the hardest part for me. Was just like I'm right in front of these dudes. Like right. I know what you don't know is that I've never checked this out. But that's what went on. I smacked the shit out of them drums and didn't give me an answer, so they put me on ice.
No way. Oh shit.
You gotta know at that time, everybody wasn't. I think it was just things were crazy for them. Obviously, you got a drummer leaving, and just things were.
Probably didn't want to make
They
an
were
announcement.
different. They were
soon.
indifferent, and everybody. It's a family. It's not just one person makes the decision. There's a consensus.
Yeah.
So Rob, being my guy already, he's like, "You fucking crushed it." Like, if it were all just up to me, you're already the guy. You know what I mean? But I can't tell you for sure right now.
Yeah.
Like, you're just gonna have to let it out. I'm like,
Did they film your audition when you were jamming?
No. But a week later, I got the call, and I was the guy, and I was like, "Holy shit," And yeah, that started that chapter, So the first part of that was, Rob, Matt, Mark, and then there was me, Sean Z, and Emil. Emil was actually playing bass, which is laughable, because, if you don't know Emil Wursler, that dude's an insane guitar player, right? Doth. He's an insane player, a virtuoso. But soon after that, Rob and Matt also decided they were going to leave. And we got two other people. We got Jeremy Creamer, who was also from Doth. So now we had like three dudes from Doth. And then this guy Matt Schlachta from most known thing that he was at the time was Dirge Within from Chicago, and then we just started working on a new record, right? And that's the only Chimera record I've ever been a part of. Was Crown of Phantoms. And
that was before Elite. The Elite was after.
The Elite was after the full length, right? Okay. So weird. I think the first demo came out in like 2010
for the Elite.
I feel like
the World War III demo. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think the full record didn't even come out to like 2018 or 2019. Like, it was like a 10-year
span. Was it that late?
Yeah, dude.
Damn. That's some silver cord move shit right there, bro.
Please know, dude, I can't put out the next one when I'm 60, bro. What was I gonna say? But yeah. So then from there, we toured, we did some good stuff.
Damn, 2018, yeah.
Yeah.
And the EP was in 2009. Jeez.
That's what I'm saying.
Crown of Phantoms was what, like 2013 or something like that?
Yeah, exactly.
Wow. That's wild. I didn't realize there was that big of a gap between all that. Because I remember when that World War III EP dropped as well. And I remember James, Blake, and we were all working our fucking like cubicle job or some shit. Do you remember we were all working at that fucking cubicle job company? Weren't you kind of also, there was a band in between Chimera and Bleed the Sky, Solus Dias, that you were doing some stuff with as well, right?
Solus Dias?
Yeah.
Yeah, that I was in a death metal band for 5 seconds in Oklahoma called Infuneration, which was a lot of work. That was crazy. I'm not a death metal guy. That was like weird to play blast beats like for entire songs and stuff like that.
Right.
And also the drums that I had to learn were like also even faster Kevin Talley drums. It was insane. I was just like, it was cool, like tip of the hat, like I can play this, but like I wasn't having as much fun playing it because it was just
it just never let up.
I like to hit hard and play that middle
and have a groove,
road groove.
Yeah.
Yeah, so from there we disbanded about 2014, and literally on that same bus ride home, Emil, who had recorded with Doth and all this stuff, was tight with their producer Mark Lewis, who had recorded a lot of the Devil Driver records, Black Dahlia, Doth, just Fallujah, all these bands. And
definitely know Mark. Mark actually lives in Nashville.
Yeah,
Mark lives here. Yeah, so all the Fallujah dudes actually just moved from Cali
Nice.
out here. Yeah,
Nice.
yeah.
Yeah, so he was kind of the connection for Devil Driver because John had just left Devil Driver, and Emil was like, "Hey, Mark's gonna call you," and he called me, and he referenced the one show that he saw me play at Chimera Christmas, and it was one of his first questions was, dude, that night blew me away. Were you guys not on Click? I was like, I've never played a Click in my life, dude. And he was like, that's even more incredible, dude. He's like, your meter is just so locked in. You know what I mean? Whatever the song tempo starts at is where it ends. You know what I mean? I'm like, dang, thanks. That means a lot coming from a dude like you that does this all day long. You know, you've seen it all. And I was smitten by that, to say the least, right? And it was crazy. So he was like, dude, like I think you'd be an insane fit for Devil Driver, and I'm gonna tell Dez the same. If you're into it, I'm pretty sure I can get you the gig. And that experience was counter opposite of the Chimera one as far as getting into the band. Literally, like, I got a call from Dez. We just had a chat, and we had a chat for like an hour, and then I think I talked to Mike. It was the same kind of chat, and it was like it felt like California guys talking to each other, you know, just broed down. And it was just kind of immediate. And then I got another call from Des. He's like, all right, man. So, you know, we got a couple shows, and then we're going to start writing. I'm like, wait, I'm in the band? He's like, yeah, man. Yeah, I mean, I saw some of the stuff you've done. I got no question that you can play this stuff. So there was no tryout. There was none of that. I was just the guy, and I was just like, whoa, that's insane.
Crazy. Yeah, and then so the Devil Driver journey begins. We definitely got some monumental moments in this band to talk about, right?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, all the fests we did out in Europe, that was some bucket list shit that, like, I mean, and I had only heard about these fests. I didn't ever think I was gonna play any of them, but yeah, I'm playing Vakken out there, Vakken Fest.
He's played Ozfest, yeah.
Several downloads, yeah. Ozfest, Chicago Open Air, Rocklahoma, just so many that I can't even think of right now. Brutal Assault.
All these crazy names.
more. Hellfest in Europe.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
All the big Alcatraz, any big one you could think of in Europe, we played it. You know, Grass Pop, like, played all of them, dude. And that was like all in 1 year.
Hey.
Played this massive one in Slovenia. That was like, there's pictures from that where I still am like, God, I remember thinking like this is an insane amount of people, but like, looking at those pictures, it seemed like even more than I realized. Like, it was just absolutely
endless sea of people,
dude. And like that thing, you're like, we were like on the side in the middle of a field that was alongside like an insanely fast running river, and it was just
shit
wild. Yeah, it was wild.
God, those festivals like that get that big have to be insane. How do you think fucking Metallica and Pantera felt with that fucking Monsters of Rock in Russia? That, like, it was like over 1 million people. They're like,
you know what's wild?
Union brought in their military, dude.
Yeah, you know what's wild is like, it's kind of like the thought of it is more intimidating and intense and butterfly-ish
in the moment.
It is, because it's just like that. It's like going on Goliath at Six Flags, right? Like, you're waiting to get in line. You're like, oh, you're seeing people you're hearing screaming, and then you're like on that first up. You're doing that, but as soon as you go down that first drop and you're in it, like, you almost don't remember any more of it. You know, You're just in it. You know, and that's what any show to me feels like. It doesn't matter like how many
blacked
people
out
are
on
there.
Goliath during the fucking corkscrew spot, so I guess that's not a good sign.
Yeah, for sure. But you know what I mean? Like, so, like, that's my experience with any show I've played. Sure, some are bigger than others, but like how I feel during them are no different than like the one in front of 30 people. Because more than anything, it's just like me trying to give you my all and lock in with my guys. So like those are the two important factors for me. It's not like the magnitude of how big this show is and important it is or any of that. It's just like, how do I give my best performance and how do I lock in with the guys so that they can have fun too?
Yeah.
You know, so like all that other stuff, like I think about stupid stuff beforehand. I've had shows where like I will get heady and I'll have to like shut it off because I'll be like, how does that verse go? And it's like, whoa, you can't go down that path. You've played that song a billion times.
Yeah.
Why are you thinking about how that transition is right now? Like, you know, it's just going to come.
I know exactly what you're talking about because there's, there's times where people request shit that I haven't played in a while. I'm like, dude, I'm overthinking this. I just got to let muscle memory kind of do its fucking thing. And then 100%. It just works.
Yeah, but I will, if it gets too bad, like, I'll pull the phone out real quick, go where it's silent, and, like, air drum it, and be like, yeah, you know it, dude, shut up. You're, like, you're tripping, you know? But, like, I gotta say, though, like, the older I get, like, that last show was so important to me for different reasons, because we're not Superman, man. Like this thing has a finality eventually.
Yeah.
And I'm no dummy that, like the style of music I play on my instrument is kind of, in my mind at least, and maybe to a lot of others, you may or may not understand this, but like technique, all those things go so far, right? But it's like, it is a young man sport. Like it's like the UFC of instruments.
Bro,
to play
these
metal.
newer guitarists nowadays are insane. Like, I can't even imagine trying to learn half the metal bands that exist now, like when I was in high school. You know, like, the stuff I learned was like easy technique stuff, you know, like Metallica, Iron Maiden, Pantera, like, you know. Now it's like, it's stupid, dude.
By the way, I play as like a Cro-Magnon man, dude. Like, I like to call myself like the Mike Tyson of drumming. It's like, it's funny and awesome and something I live by, but like at the same time, it's like, had I focused more on like technique younger, I probably wouldn't be hurting. And like, you know, because there's got to be some kind of like
damage
that I've created for myself. You know what I mean?
You seem to, you seem to sail off in the sunset with a nice chill band like Silvercord, dude.
That's what I'm saying, dude. That's what I'm geared towards, dude. That some dope, like,
we'll play at the Opry, dude. The Grand Ole Opry here in Nashville, dude. That would be insane.
Dude, all about it, you know. So I'm all about it. But fast forward to today, you know, and now we're all the gigs I'm doing, we're getting handsomely paid, you know, because of the strategy of how we're doing it, you know, being
good,
very select.
as you should.
And just so many different ways of generating income and fan bases, the way that everything is nowadays. There's so many, you know, are you willing to go that route and put in the time to learn that new stuff, you know? So that's kind of.
So I know you tracked about 4 albums with Devil Driver, right? We got the part 1, part 2, got the covers, and then Trust No One was the first one you're on, right?
Yeah.
How was it doing like a side project kind of? Well, it's not a side project, but like an album that was more of like a cover based as opposed to a writing originals. Like how was that process for that album?
It was cool. It was nothing but an honor. It was like I like to call that like my fuck it list, because it was when I refer to that, it's like that's like a subsidiary of a bucket list, like something I didn't even imagine would be a possible thing. And,
right.
And then it landed in my lap, you know.
There's a lot of cool guest musicians on that too.
That's what I mean, you know, like being able to say like Randy Blythe is on a song that I've been a part of, and just all these other musicians, you know, legendary vocalists, and just it's crazy stuff.
Yeah, so if chat's wondering what we're talking about, Devil Driver put out a Outlaws Till the End album, which was like a country and outlaw country, like metal versions of these songs, which was pretty badass. Then you guys did Dealing with Demons, part 1 and part 2. But before we go into like the, Demons part 1 and part 2 and how that kind of all transpired, I do know there was, out of all the festivals that we've mentioned and played, I know that there is one that was a pretty mix of emotions for you, with that being Ozfest, correct?
Oh yeah, that was a huge one. It was what year was that? Probably like 2014, 15, maybe 16, 2016.
I think so.
Yeah, because Ethan had just passed right then.
Yeah.
Ethan passed, and I got like my brother Cameron. He got the news that morning, and it was I don't know how they were able to keep it to themselves, but they told themselves they weren't going to tell me until after the show,
Yeah.
And so there, obviously there was that. There was my father had just passed away a few years back, and like I was just like over the moon. That like I don't know, it was just a lot of emotion there too. Because it was like, dude, he would have been losing his shit to have seen me play Ozfest, or like Ozzy, like Black Sabbath, like stuff we grew up listening to. I grew up listening to, and then just hear about Ethan, and it was just like very bittersweet kind of day, but yeah, that's real life, you know what I mean? And I'm glad.
I couldn't imagine that, dude. Having the high from a festival like that, and then the news after the fact, man.
Yeah, and I don't know, these things in life, and the way they both went, it's unfortunate. It's very unfortunate. I'd do anything to have able to help.
Right.
Reality is like I know the reality because I am one of those characters. A lot of us are.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that, however, I was able to cut through my own demons and get the help I needed. Because now I have that thing we all desire so much, and that's relatability. You know what I mean? So I can be more of a vessel to those that need help, and just sometimes it's just a talk, right? And
right.
And people don't realize still sometimes that's like all the difference, like because when you're in it, you think you're all on your own, and those of us that have these diseases, that's where the disease wants your thinking, because that's where you're most susceptible to its victory, right? And I worked in treatment. My wife still is working in treatment, and I'm helping, but she recently has taken part ownership of a treatment center out here in Menifee, California. Wow. And I'm so proud of her, and just proud to be a part of that journey, and just like, and I think we're both doing really awesome and commendable things, and there's no way we're here or together or doing any of this together without our sobriety, and it's wild. Like, for those that need to walk that path, it's like I could just tell you, like the gifts, the rewards that come just because you just do that and find ways to continue to do that. Like, your life will be way better than you could have ever mapped it out. Mm-hmm. It wasn't the vision that I initially had planned out, but again, with the coin, it's like that vision would have got me dead, right? And this vision that's going on currently, I don't know anything about, because I could have never planned something so great. My own plan was just like demise and like eventual just complete onslaught of chaos and just bad planning, and just who knows, causing more pain to me and others around. Like, that's just all that there is out there for not helping yourself or getting help or being vulnerable or humbling yourself to into a better path, you know.
Yeah.
And it's been a huge honor to be a part of something like that helped me out in my life, and you know, I got to do some case management and work with some people, and still I get hit up by some of those people online, and they reach out and their lives are going great, and it's just like stuff like that with music, hearing about people like that, like the music helping them in their lives, and like, and just me talking with them, and it helped them with their battle during the early stage of recovery, and just worth more than any dollar I'll ever make, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I think those are real things in life. So it's like, yeah, music, I love it, and that's where I want to go, and forever trying to combine both.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I think we're well on our way here. You know, I'm gonna be making some more shred sober stuff. I'm gonna take that a little more.
Let's go
into the wings, right, and getting some more designs.
Dude,
and,
well, perfect way to help promote that is you just named your account Shred God, and you got gifted a sub earlier, but we need to get. Can we get a shout out for Shred God? We need to get follows on Austin's account to help inspire him to hit that go live button, whether it's just chatting sobriety, whether it's just talking music, whether somehow he's getting the drums that going on there. That'd be super sick. So guys, go give him a follow. Let's kind of like talk back about that. You know, we were kind of talking about you know, losing our friends and family around the you know, the end time of you being in Devil Driver. Kind of ironic that the name of the last two albums that you're kind of with called Dealing with Demons, as you were dealing with your own there as well. But I do know you were able to pull yourself out of this pit, and like you said, you kind of touched up on it, able to turn your life around and take your experiences and bring that good to other people dealing with the same thing. Now I know you walked away from Devil Driver. What caused you to do that, and what did you end up going to this greater calling that you found afterwards?
So I mean, so you know, there was two kind of conflicting things. I mean, it's copacetic, and I'm a very like meat and potatoes approach person. When I'm doing music, like I'm there for the music, right? And I'm not there for the antics. And you know, at that time I was getting older, and I found a new career. The one thing that happened during COVID is it showed me that my fear of not being able to do anything else successfully. And so when landing in treatment, and I had already had some years of recovery, I blindly walked into that, and people advocated for me, you know, and I boosted up pretty quickly into positions, and I was like, dude, I found something else, you know, and all the while, you know, the world stood still. We weren't touring, nothing was going on, and
had to have been a wild position and time for all touring musicians.
Yeah, so you know, to one degree, I was ready to continue this journey, and I'd never been offered a salary, and they offered me a salary, and as a musician, that's unlikely unless you're in a mega band, especially like metal and stuff. But like, I was just at a point where I was making more money doing that. So, and there was just there's a couple things, and I told myself I just hit a wall with the idea that I wanted to be able to, with music, do whatever I want to do, and that's not kind of how that ship was being steered as well, alongside me working in treatment, which is fine. You know, I think everybody should run their business the way they want to. That's just not how I wanted to operate any longer. You know what I mean? I wanted to be in a position where I'm controlling my destiny and don't have to ask anyone if it's cool if I do something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you know, at the time,
do you have a gnat in your room too, dude? I had a gnat earlier. Like,
yeah.
I mean, that's awesome. Right? Trying not to look like an idiot, going like.
Yeah, you know, and again, you know, that's something I learned as I got older and through recovery, that like, this is my own life. Like, I can dictate where it goes, and just because it's a national act band doesn't mean I don't have all of that resume behind me. You know, I can figure this out. So that was another determining factor for me that I wanted to kind of go that path where I can put myself in a position and hand select the things I want to do with on my own dime. So that coupled with having a salary in recovery and working in treatment, and so that was that, you know. And I met my beautiful wife in there. She worked there, and
That's awesome.
I don't know how the hell I landed her, but I'm batting way over my pay grade. But so you know, and so yeah, so now fast forward, it's like, you know, I'm doing a little this, little that. I'm doing it kind of exactly what I want to do. I'm doing sessions. I'm doing Chimera. I'm doing Bleed the Sky. I'm doing Verona on Venus. Mike.
Yeah, let's talk more about that. So Mike being from Devil Driver, it seems like you and him always had a great relationship. Mike's super awesome. I always love meeting and hanging out with Mike backstage. Yeah, what did Mike have going on the side of Devil Driver, and how did you get involved with that, and how did that kind of come into fruition?
That's just kind of something Mike had always wanted to do. He'd always had a vision for an industrial project, and he envisioned himself singing as well, and that he wanted to control the direction.
Style on that band, dude.
Thanks, man, and I think it. I love it too, and I was actually kind of nervous about that because you know, I had to hold back and
I don't think you've ever had to hold back with any other band you've tracked for, maybe. Oh.
True. Well, I mean, but no, you know, its style is different. It's like I'm not blasting record, you know what I'm saying? So there were certain songs where I was like, okay, I need to like let the song just shine. Like, so some of it for me like feels like even like a more dirty Perfect Circle. There's parts where I'm just real chill and basic, you know what I mean? And when you play heavy and crazy all the time, it is different to just be in that just straight groove pocket, chill, hang back, and just put stuff in here and there, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's kind of how Mike. She's like, hey man, I just want you to be a part of this. This is who I'm gonna have recorded, and I'm doing this out of pocket, and we're gonna get it going, and there it went. You know what I mean? And now we're just gonna be working on when we're gonna play a show. You know what I mean?
Nice. Hell yeah. Now, I know there's also another project you got going on, or had done some work with Vented.
Oh, yeah. God. You put it this way. I was watching like the little post you put up, and like all the bands flashing across. I'm like, God, that is all me. I've done all of this.
Yeah, you have.
So much, dude. It's like, it's crazy.
I felt like I was just, I felt like I was maybe putting too many down, but like I felt like they all deserved recognition for sure.
I appreciate that. Yeah, and so that one, so that's. I love those tunes, dude. I got to do that one. It's actually got a cool story. Joey from Slipknot is going to be doing that record because him and Sean Z, you know, they had Sinsanum, and this was a project that it was actually going to be the last project he was going to be on, and then he passed away.
Yep.
So when I got the call from Sean about doing this, I was like, dude, of course, like, what more of an honor would it be to pay homage to one of my favorite all-time drummers that like got me inspired to get the kid out and like literally sparked getting me into my first band, you know what I mean? And it was awesome. The songs were already just there, and I was like, dude, like I'm actually gonna try to like bring that energy that he did, and like if you go and listen to some of the songs, like I try to keep that push going, and
you can tell
definitely like here and there just doing that, like just trying to just keep that momentum driving. And the crazy stuff with that is there's like, you know, the main writer, he's out there in Hungary, so it's just like hard to get something like that going, you know. So really, like a lot of these projects I've been a part of, that's like the thing. We're putting out stuff, but it's like hard to get it going.
Remote bands.
I know.
I don't know anything about those.
Yeah. So it's almost like, I don't know, can we get a Euro deal and like go out there once in a while and see if it's worth it? But then it's like, then you got to fly us all out there, get us paid, and this and that, and what's the draw going to be?
Passports and all that shit taken
so
care of.
So many variables that you don't know, you know, and for those of you that don't know about like Polestar, those are your numbers from your shows, and like if we were to go do something like that and it didn't do good, and it's just like from there you're kind of like, those are your numbers. So like getting a guarantee, that is anything, it would be difficult. You know what I mean? So, that's just some out the box information. But like that is how certain bands start to decline, kind of like the stock market, right? Your value goes down, and you are all of a sudden not a thing.
Yeah.
You know, and like dudes aren't getting paid. That means managers, band, labels, everything doesn't want to work with you because at the end of the day, you know, we gotta have a house over our head.
Yeah.
You know, so it's so weird. You'd like to think it's just all, oh, this band rips, dude. I know I'm gonna see them soon, and then you're reading that they're done. You know, and it's just like, it's crazy. You know, like, if it's a niche thing, like I don't know. All I can say is love them more. You know, love them more if they mean that much to you. You know, like. Yeah, I don't know. It's so much work to be done, and like we work really hard to put something out, and sometimes the stars just don't align. That's the whole art game, right?
Right.
That's why you hear those old sayings like, "Oh, that shit'll be worth fucking $5 billion when you die." You know what I mean? Like, that's like most artists, you know, still, and it'll forever be that way, because we're morbid. I don't know. I don't know why that is, but like. Yeah, I'm worth more when I'm dead. That's just a crazy concept. Such a crazy concept, you know.
It is crazy. It's like you hear about all the artists that passed away and how their band kicks off after they've passed.
They got all Nirvana, the painters.
Jimi Hendrix.
That's where all that started. Is those painters? More the dime a dozen. Like everybody's a ripping painter in Italy or wherever out there, and then it's just like nobody like told the story about how badass this guy was until somehow it got passed around like telephone, and now this dude shit's worth way more than he ever made his entire life.
Yeah.
You know, and people pay bajillions for Picassos and this and that. But while they were alive, they were eating fucking, you know, half-eaten apples out of the fucking garbage can. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And making a sick painting of it. You know?
Pretty wild.
Yeah.
Speaking of Sean, Sean is actually going to be on one of our good friends podcasts tomorrow. One of our streamer friends here on Kick, Sinister, he does a behind the vocals podcast every week, and he's got Sean Z coming up tomorrow, and I dropped the joke or comment. I was like, hey, Austin's invented with him, and he's like, we're getting all the Vented crew on Kick. So yeah, guys, if you guys know Sinister, our viewers here, they know Sinister, guys, go check out that podcast tomorrow with Sean. That'll be pretty sick. Now, as far as those side projects, you know, with Verona on Venus and Vented, is there anything in the works that you know of as far as sophomore albums or anything like that?
I mean, Verona kind of just came out not that long ago.
Yeah, pretty fresh still. Yeah, even Vented is still pretty fresh, to be honest, because COVID kind of put a halt on music. Even though music was being released, it's like a lot of bands toured for albums a couple years later, kind of thing, and you know.
Yeah. To be honest, like Vented has. I think we have something like an entire record that's just kind of waiting for me to do the drums, but it's just it's different now, right now, you know, like my life's different, so like like I did that last record for free, literally. We just paid the engineer, and I did that whole record for nothing, you know, and I'm just not in a position where like I could just do everything for nothing, like. It has big money on it like that, like absolutely, but like now I'm like that's time is money, and like time away from my wife, time away, you know what I mean? If I'm gonna go do this, yes, I love it, but I still got to make some money, so I can like make it make sense. It's got to make sense, you know what I mean? So you know, as they say, you know, we all started in the garage, not thinking about that at all, and then some of us have been blessed with, you know, starting to do some things, and then if that's the route you're going to take, it is now a job, and that job needs to generate money.
Yeah.
So if that's not happening, you need to go where it is, right? So
right.
And you know, sometimes that sucks, but maybe that will come up, and you know, we'll get that going. But that's just brass tacks, you know. I got also like a full record of stuff that I'm sitting on with my buddy Neil.
From Devil Driver? Yeah.
Yeah. He's in Carnifex, and these are songs we both wrote.
Oh, he's in Carnifex now. Okay.
Yeah, he's been in Carnifex for.
Oh, was he with Carnifex when he was with Devil Driver too?
No.
Oh, okay.
I think he did fill in for them once. That was it. Yeah. Other than that, yeah, there's stuff thrown at me all the time.
Interested seeing Carnifex in a few months. Someone in our chat here is seeing them in a, yeah.
It was up to my boy Neil.
Yeah, Neil's awesome. Neil's very nice. Neil is like extra nice, dude. He just like he doesn't seem like he'd be as nice as he is, to be honest. I don't know why. He's just those big guys always seem intimidating, and they're always the nicest.
For sure. Sure, yeah. Dude, I love him. He's up in Portland now. Which I was gonna see him because we were gonna record some Do the Sky videos, but I ended up having to push that back. So
yeah.
But yeah, plenty of stuff constantly evolving. Another thing that is in the works I can't tell you about. Ha ha ha. Okay. But it's really big.
I'm sure you can tell me off the record, but that's okay.
Yeah. But no. It's been cool to know. Like, I was nervous at first. Like, I left my job in treatment and decided I wanted to dive back into this and just kind of hodgepodge it all together through lessons, sessions, doing shows, just doing it any way I can. You know, that's why I'm like getting Shred Sober back in the mix, just all this stuff. It's been interesting. It only took me about 5-6 months to get back into the mix of like people. Like, I've had to turn a couple things down because they just didn't work out with schedules, but I was offered some gigs, and I keep getting stuff, so that's good. That's the direction I want to go.
Yeah. You know? Hell yeah.
And I know we're just getting started, you know what I mean? And if I get this big thing I'm kind of hinting towards, that should definitely flood some gates for probably my eternity. But
that's sick. That's sick.
Yeah.
Well, I know you mentioned you're doing some lessons and stuff as well, and that's what you're kind of doing, as well as these other projects that you're doing occasionally. Why don't you go into more about what you're doing with this is not School of Rock, it's Let There Be Rock, correct?
Yeah, Let There Be Rock.
I have to use the bathroom. I can hear everything you're saying. I'm gonna let you take it away while you're explaining Let There Be Rock and what you do there for these kids.
All right, cool.
All right.
Yeah. So at Let There Be Rock, it's really cool. Like, we do have some curriculum. There's some reading. There's also the main selling point that we want kids to get into, and people of all age really, is just coming there and having a new community of people. Because music is such an invaluable thing, and just connection, and if you love it, why not be doing it? But like the main pitch that we have there is you can get into a band, right? And these bands, we pick like a different style of songs, like quarterly, and that'll be like the theme of the quarter. And so we'll hand select bands with people that we all believe are on the same level of playing, and kind of devise their set list. And these are like cover songs. And when we've had about 3 or 4 months and teaching them within our lessons and other curriculum, And then they have like a jam hour once a week. After 3 or 4 months, they'll all get together at like a venue that we hand select, and actually play like a legitimate show. And it's super cool. And yeah, I love doing it. I love being able to give back. I love the idea that I used to teach a little bit at the beginning, and I just understand it to be a way different thing now. Because I was way more heady about it initially, because I was like, well, this person's not learning nothing. Am I a bad teacher? And all this stuff. And then I was able to pull it back.
Lots that you learn about yourself through that experience.
Yeah, well, you realize also, like, if you can parallel it to like a math teacher or any other kind of teacher, right? Like, just because you're the one teaching and Billy gets it doesn't mean, Ben's going to get it the same way.
Yep.
And he might not conceptualize with you the same way that he would another style of teacher. So it's been interesting to be able to start learning how to jump around into people's learning styles, right? So I've definitely got a lot better at that when I understand that, like, it's not my responsibility what these kids are doing or what these people are doing after they leave this lesson. Like, if I teach you this stuff, you have a video, I wrote some stuff out for you, and you come back next week and I ask you to play that, and then I ask you, did you practice? And you say no, that's not on me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like, I'm enjoying the ones that do, and I enjoy encouraging the ones that don't, or they're in that gray area.
Yeah.
Or maybe they're just there because they're having fun. They don't even care if they get good. But like, when we're together, I can see like they're having fun, and that's just kind of reading all of that personality has been the fun in it, And I've had most of my students this entire time now, so a whole 6 months. So it's been cool watching certain ones progress and others being fine with not progressing, but they're just enjoying their time there. And yeah, it's just been cool to give that back, which is another thing I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to do, because I didn't know anything about teaching, or like, I always thought maybe people that would want to learn from me would just want to learn how I play, or like, or how do you play, and sometimes that happens, but not that often, you know what I mean? I'll show them something of mine. A lot of times they'll be like, yeah, I'm not learning that.
right.
I don't know if I'm ever going to play that, but which is funny. But there are a few that I am challenged by. Like, I'll have to, like, a few nights before be like, this dude learns what I teach him in, like, the first half hour of an hour lesson. Like, I got to come up with 4 or 5 more. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, just different ways and different building blocks that I'm creating through watching other people give lessons, or it's just all the stuff that I have to reference. But then, like, I find my own rhyme or reason because I know the individuals specifically and the way that I know their threshold of, like, I can tell, like, when they're going to get to that, like, burnt, like, look, where, like, okay, now it's time to crank into AC/DC because, like, I taught you some complex shit. Let's just jam out. You know what I mean? So you're like, you leave with that feeling of like, dude, this is just brutal. Like, you know what I mean? Like, studying for a test.
No, you will study Mario's pattern until midnight tonight. Okay.
Yeah. Nobody likes that, right? We want the passing grade after the test, after we've stressed out the entire time, right? But I can give you both. So it's like, grasping all of that, it takes some time. It takes some time to be a good teacher and to constantly be a student to be a teacher. So it's
I bet
it's been really cool. It's been really cool, and I work with a lot of great people that have just got such huge hearts. I mean, 3/4 of them were all of them were at my mom's surprise birthday party. They all played that show.
No way. Yeah. That's
free.
So cool.
Everybody that we played for free, they played for tacos and beer, dude. Like, dude, the coolest guys, dude. Like, just a great atmosphere. Dudes just doing something they love. We're not making $1 million and it's still growing and whatnot, but like, we're there for the right reasons, and I like being in that.
That's awesome. That's
awesome. As I get older, I just want to be in the right atmosphere. Same reason I said earlier. I want to hand select my destiny. You know what I mean? And for me, music looks like that now. It's like, if I'm in a band with a bunch of dudes that I'm not gelling with, or like just the dynamic of how everything is working is like, I don't want to be a part of it. I pretty much don't even care if you're paying me $50 million. You know what I mean? Like, maybe that'll be a little different. But, I guess we all got a prize, right? Solo. Like, no, I guess there would. I mean, dude, yeah, who wouldn't? Like, if somebody was like, I'm an asshole, but I'm paying you $200K retainer, I'd be like, cool, man. Tell me where to stick it, dude. Like, I'm into it. You know what I mean? But like, that's not like super probable. So for the most part, I'm just gonna hand select all the stuff I want to be a part of, and mostly that's just like good humans. Like, I just want to be in that vibe.
Nice. How many nights a week or how many days a week do you teach lessons?
Right now, just 3 nights a week, but all the ins and outs in between that. I'm working on music that I'm either playing coming up, because like Chimera's got to do 3 sets on that boat, so we're doing like 30 different songs. So I gotta learn like 15 at least. We'll probably play a bunch of what we just played in one way or another, spread out through the other sets. That way it'll make it a little easier on us, because that's right around the corner. And then just working on that other stuff I can't talk about, working on that, and there's like 15 other songs.
Nice.
And so yeah, it's a lot, and people think it's all fun and games, but it's like, you're playing in a 110-degree room, double bass, and in your 41, and it's you against you, and like you just got to stay in shape. That's another big thing I'm super about now, is that I'm just staying in the best shape that I can be in. Mm-hmm. And that means I also just going to the gym. I'm eating right. I'm on like a macronutrient diet. Like, I'm doing all the things that I think are going to be crucial to my longevity.
Yeah, I got to definitely change that, because my guitar is starting to be pushed out more. I'm gonna put it on.
Yeah, and you feel better. I feel better most of the time. I rarely get sick. Like almost never. And when I do, it's not very long lived. I feel much better than I would if I was not doing anything, because I'm getting older. I'll take it from Turner as like, he's a guy that just never stops moving, and I asked him that once. I was like, man, how you just spice of life still? Like, he's like, well, just doing like my mom and those before me, just keep moving.
Stay active.
He's in his 70s, and those people that live them 80, 95-year lives and stuff, they just keep doing
Why
stuff.
Sloth is a deadly sin, man.
That's it, dude.
It'll kill you, just being lazy and complacent.
100%.
I know we're coming up on that 2-hour mark. I ain't trying to keep you too much longer. I got like 2 more topics I'd like to talk about, and then maybe a quick like speed round of some questions if you're down.
100%.
Okay. So I know there was a brief time that you had streamed yourself, correct? On the purple site over on Twitch. There was a little
streamed.
Yeah, streamed. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Some little drum streams for a little bit.
Yeah.
There's some people that still say they missed that shit in this chat. I'm just gonna say that.
I know, dude. I know. Well, it might be time to revisit that. But let me get the electric kit back here. I'm actually thinking about maybe selling that one and getting like one of them new Zildjian ones that are just like ridiculous.
Oh, Zildjian has an electric kit too?
Oh my god, yeah. Go check that thing out. It's ridiculous. Like you'll see it and you're gonna be like, that's an electric kit, because it just looks like an acoustic. Like it's unreal.
Oh shit, really? Okay.
Yeah, and it's sound.
You're still with Yamaha, right?
Those are real. Yeah, and they got one too. But I think I really like this one. The rave reviews and all of that about this one. That new Elisa's one's really freaking ridiculous.
Oh
too.
yeah, the Elisa. Yeah, I've heard about those ones too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'll just say this: that you have a lot of aspects. I feel like that you would do really well with as far as streaming goes. You don't have to just stream drums, dude. I think with you talking about getting shred sober back, you know, pushing your brand out that way, and even having just chats about something like that, that's, you know, that's super important that, you know, a lot of people are still dealing with, and especially people on the internet that watch streams. These are people that are in their house all day long watching streams, and you know, they're dealing with their own addictions and things like that.
Yeah. Maybe I can reach out to some of my other sober musician friends and get them on, do some talks, you know, and
that'd be cool.
Yeah, I read off topic, like if you guys haven't seen this yet, so Mark Morton, the guitar player for Lamb of God, he's got a insanely good book called
that's
Desolation.
right, it just came out. That's right,
dude. But he did a whole audio version, and it's him talking.
Okay.
Reads the whole thing, and if you got a you know, small 9-hour window in your life, give it a listen, dude. And he is completely transparent about his recollections from A to Z. He talks about his addiction. He talks about his early band going, kind of like this entire podcast has gone. How you asked me to A to Z it, he does that. So like well before Lamb of God, well before, you know.
Yeah.
He talks about his first bands and how he even got into music. It is such a good listen. It took me definitely like 4 or 5 days, different spurts, whether it was I was on a walk or just like cooking or whatever. I just put it on in the background, and it was fantastic, dude. And I look
Mark's
forward
awesome.
to it. I look forward to hopefully meeting him. I've never met him on the Headbangers boat.
That's gonna be sick.
There was so many like.
I caught a guitar pick from him last time I saw them.
That's so rad.
Yeah, it's a Randy Blythe pick. It's actually got Randy Blythe's like it's got his caricature on it and his photography like signature or something like that. But yeah. Hypocrisy is asking, is this your drummer? Yes. He is the drummer of Silvercord, but among so many other. We just got hosted. We got rated by 74 beautiful people coming in from Vanessa's stream. Oh my gosh, welcome on in, y'all.
That's so cool.
Guys, we are chatting with Austin Dayaman, drummer of Chimera, Bleed the Sky, Silvercord, Ronan Venus, Vented, among other projects. Vanessa, how was your stream today? Welcome on in, y'all. Guys, if you guys aren't following Vanessa, make sure you're giving her a follow. Her DJ setup is crazy. She has metal nights where she DJs a bunch of metal stuff. She was crushing it the other day with some killer tunes. Welcome on in, y'all. We're kind of just finishing up our conversation with Austin here. We got a couple more things. We've kind of gone through his entire music career. There was one other topic. I figured I'd save this for last. You know, like being the one band we really haven't talked about because they haven't really done much. But I know, you know, we lost Ethan and Cameron and I your brother and I got together and made some music and wanted to see if you'd be a part of it. And you amazingly said yes. And what was it like?
Amazingly.
Yeah. I mean, it was.
Dude, honestly, like, this was like a bucket list thing, first of all. But like, just the fact that Cameron had finally embraced the idea of, you know, going outside of what he had done with Ethan. I didn't know if that was going to be too traumatic for him to do anything next, because dang, it doesn't get more personal than that. You know what I mean? But to find out that he had reconnected with you, and this was kind of like a connection to all of that in a way, to kind of mend those scars, right? And start rebirthing a whole different sound, a whole different, you know, and you guys clicked right away and were writing some great stuff when he was sending me demos and stuff, and kind of abruptly asked me like, hey dude, we would love for you to drum on this. I was like taken back, because I had, you know, as we've talked about, I had just recently been in recovery myself, and I'd put him through a lot, you know what I mean? I put him through all of it that we do while we're out there running and gunning, and always in my mind growing up, And the second I knew he could sing, I always thought that this is our immediate bucket list thing to be on something with my brother. You know what I mean? And to have you in there too, like, you know, a high school, a longtime friend. Of course,
dude, I remember you showing up to our Bleed the Sky show like in 2008 or something at Hoagie Barmichael's.
Yeah,
and like, it's just like, dude, this guy, guys, seriously, having Cameron like as a high school, middle school friend, and his brother was like a famous metalhead drummer was just like the craziest shit for us as a metal band ourselves. We were just like, this is fucking epic. Oh, Sinister's in the chat right now. The guy that's going to be interviewing Sean tomorrow is in the chat right here. So Sinister, what's going on, dude? We got Austin here. We've been chatting all things. We were talking about Vented earlier, actually, just not too long ago. Let him know that Sean's going to be on your channel tomorrow.
that's so cool.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Welcome on in, dude. But yeah, man, yeah, so sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but yeah, I just remember, I'll never forget, like, after our show at Hoagie Barmichael's, like, talking with you, and like, it was just so cool to see, like, you know, like an older role model doing it. Like, it just gave like this sense of hope as like a young teenage kid just trying to like play music and see what happens with it. And like, you had that dream happen to you, so it was just like, let's do this.
Dude, I still feel like that kid when I see other band, like when I'm at a fest and I come from like backstage and I go into the crowd or whatever. I'm still that kid that's like, in my mind at least, that's like, I can't believe this is something I'm currently still doing. You know what I mean? Like, just like feeling this energy, and like, it's just been a blessing, man. It's just, I've been so humbled by it, and I don't take it for granted, that's for sure. You know, and I never imagined I would do half of what I've done. You know, I'll do it as long as people want me to do it. You know, like I want to do it. So.
Yeah. So going back to Silvercord, how was it tracking for a non-metal band for the first time ever? Or had you recorded anything in the previous things that hadn't been released?
I've done a few things, but not like to this extent and like a full record, you know, and like there was a little, it was mostly just excitement because I knew I was working with somebody that understood me rhythmically. Even before he knew what the drums were going to be, like he already gave me cues. You had plenty of cues that had like metal-esque cues.
There's so many the follow-alongs that you do on like either whether you're following vocals or a guitar thing, man. There's so many things that blow my mind.
That was my most favorite part is that I got, dude. That was my favorite part is that I got to do drums last, which is something I've never done, and that is so fun for a drummer because I get to hear what all the vocals are like, and like in music a lot of the times the drums don't accent the singer, and that was just so fun getting to do that multiple times throughout the entire record, you know what I mean? Like, because I just knew the pattern so well, and both of your abilities to be on and off again, and so I had so many sections to select from. Who am I going to follow right here? You know what I mean? Like, that would have been cool too. Like, it was just like every time, you know what I mean? So like, but like just the process was hilarious too. We were talking about it before we came on, but like just doing it all in one day, right? In like 5 or 6 hours.
This guy did this all 13 tracks of the songs that Silvercord has. Obviously there's some that still aren't released officially. This guy did it all in one fucking day. Some of these songs are one taked, and the one that is one take is still beyond me, dude. The fact that Good Friend is a one take, there was nothing else to pull from or anything on that song, man. It was a one take on Good Friend, and that is what you hear, and it's so crazy.
It is
That's
crazy.
everyone's favorite, dude.
Like probably like no edit. Like I just remember. I think I had to like control myself from yelling at the end just long enough so that we could let the cymbals decay because I couldn't
This
wait.
is what you said. It was like 2 seconds of silence. 2 seconds of silence. Fire. You yell in the mic. He fucking knew. He knew what had happened. He's like, we don't need to do that one again. I'm pretty sure that's exactly what you said next. Was like, we ain't doing that one again. You're like, we're good. We're good.
Yeah, I was like, there's no way there's gonna be a better pick. Dude, that was it. That was
man, dude. I miss our rehearsals as well, dude. Remember when we practiced a couple times out in Temecula? That was fun, dude.
That was crazy.
That was wild, but it was still a jam.
Yeah.
So how was it practicing with Cameron recently? You guys, Cameron and Austin's mom just had her birthday recently, and they put on a surprise party where they played a bunch of classic rock bangers. And I saw your awesome outfit.
Dude, Cameron and I were both to the nines, bro. We're paying homage to the 60s and 70s. Yeah, I wore some broveralls, dude, and
one side had to be open, right? Of course.
Yeah, some wild like Elton John blue lens glasses and a bandana, and it was something. But it was exactly what I love. Like others might be intimidated with this kind of scenario. Some of those songs are getting it in depth, right?
Yeah, everyone
like,
was worried, man. He was like, fuck. He's like, I don't remember lyrics like I used to,
bro,
dude.
he had two practices, you know, and then like, but I love that. Like, I love knowing that like most of this is gonna just be like,
jammy, yeah, dude.
Get through them and it's gonna be fun. We did some impromptu Sublime songs. We did songs that night. We did some songs that night because I just kicked into certain beats, and then we got through entire songs.
That's
a couple entire songs. Yeah, just off the fly, and like you can only really do that at a backyard party. But it was like it was awesome.
I'm
dude.
I'm so jealous.
Yeah, it was a rad thing to like be able to throw something so awesome for the woman that gave us it all and continues to do so. So like to give her such a special day, it was like. I feel really good about that, you know.
Yeah.
And again to rock it with Cameron, and then Cameron's dad came up for a tune, dude. It was epic. Yeah, we played Sweet Home Alabama. We never played that song.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Just kicked into it, dude. It was amazing.
That's wild, dude. I wish I was there so bad, dude. That would have been sick. Man. Well, let's shoot through some quick questions real quick. Let's just, we'll try not to take too long on them, but let's kind of just go through some speed rounds of things. Out of all of the bands and shows that you've played throughout, what is one of the moments that you're most proud of? Whether it be a show, a record.
Man, that is so hard.
That's what she said.
For sure. But dude, I'd have to say I can't pinpoint any, but I can give you a vibe. I mean, nothing for me since the moment I got to do a fest. I've never felt my drums more powerful with those subs and just like the insanity of the trigger and the subs and just it was so just wild. Like it's so loud and bassy that like gives you this adrenaline rush that I almost feel like the fastest a song feels slow. Like it is the craziest experience. Some of those favorite ones are definitely like Vakken, Download Fast.
Vakken's happening like right now, right? Or last couple days.
And then to think of a lineup that I played with other than this last show.
Cam's in the chat. Cam's in the chat. This guy.
Whoa! Oh my god! Oh my god! Definitely that last show. I feel like
this version of the band, which is all originals but me, I feel like this was the tightest and sickest like we'd ever played together, so, and it was crushing on stage as well. But other than that, I think the tightest band that I've ever played with, like consistently every night, was just like, these guys are just fucking nasty. That was 2.0 version of Chimera. Like Emil and Matt together was like some of the most, like, I don't know, the unit. Like that unit was like scary. Like we were pulling Whitechapel fans out of their seats. Like,
That's sick.
this is like, we know Chimera, but we don't know. Like it was a trip, dude. Like I didn't.
Quick random side note. Thought on newer Whitechapel.
I don't really know much.
Oh, dude. Okay, so I side note. I hadn't listened to Whitechapel since like, I mean, way back, like their early albums, and I remember, you know, it just being way too brutal for me. But I saw them with Trivium, like a year and a half ago, and dude, it seemed like their style now, I swear to God, a Silvercord could open for.
Oh, they're that soft?
Dude, Phil does some angelic singing. Like they have all, dude, they do it all now. It's fucking wild. I'm obsessed with their like newer style. Their last 2 albums have been crazy.
That's wild.
Go listen to Kin. It's like a bright blue album. If you go look up their newest album, you'll see it. It's like a blue cover. Just listen to that album start to finish, and you'll probably pick up what I'm putting down. Like it's very different.
I'll have to go give
It's
that
really
a listen.
really good. Dude, two frontmen and women to me that just sound like complete fucking demons and then sound like complete angels. Phil from Whitechapel and Courtney from Spirit Box. It's like it's crazy what they can do in their highs and lows. But so speaking of bands, we're talking about bands here. What are some of your all-time favorite bands? Top 3 bands if you had to listen, or just artists. They don't have to be bands. I know you're got very raised up early on hip hop as well. You know, I know Dr. Dre was one of your first fucking records.
There was a phase where 10 years was like just mostly rap, like Project Pat, 3 6 Mafia, like West Side Connection, Tupac, Biggie. There was all that, you know, for many years, and that influenced the way that the bounce comes from my drumming.
Right.
But then when you're talking about metal, I mean, Pantera is my favorite metal band of all time, and then first 2 Slipknot records. Everything else past that, kind of like, there's some songs that are undeniable to me, but I just didn't get.
Yeah.
It didn't drive me the same
way.
What else? Meshuggah, for sure. And then, yeah, that's kind of the core, really. But yeah, that's a tough question because I listen to so much. Gojira, love Gojira.
Yeah.
But yeah, my taste is always available and it's always evolving.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. I love so much. It's just too hard. Like when people say, "Who's your favorite drummer?" It's like I have so many, you know, and then some are like really niche and like I listen to it now. I'm like, how did I even listen to Cryptopsy? You know what I mean? But it was like, again, it captured this wildness of like, whoa, how is this guy doing that? So I would try it myself, and I would get like spurts of his feel.
Yeah.
And be like, whoa, oh, I see that, okay. But like most of those moments were like approach driven, that they were different than what you would usually hear over that style of riff. So those are always like, same reason like a band like 311 is one of my favorite, and I've seen them more than anything. Yeah. Because they play so many variations and go into transitions seamlessly. Yeah. Right? And I gravitate to bands that can do that. Sublime, right? Yeah. 311, just bands that experiment with all these different sounds, which makes perfect sense that I say something like Sleep Token, right? Because they offer so much.
Oh, yeah.
It keeps me with my ADD brain captivated, you know what I mean? Like, right. I'm in this because I'm like, whoa, where did that come from, you know? I got to rewind that. And I actually, you know, I can't push rewind now. I gotta push rewind on my phone. You know.
So I know you didn't, you know, you had mentioned it's hard to mention a favorite drummer, but like of those of your drumming, what would you say your biggest influences, top couple influences in your drumming have been?
Oh, yeah, I would say it comes from those early days. Pantera, Vinnie Paul, right?
Yeah.
Joey, Dave Lombardo.
Yeah.
And even with Slayer, like I love me some Slayer, but I'm not a diehard. Like I love them and I pay homage, and they have moments. They have certain records for me, but I'm not like every record. I like, you know, like most records I know a few cuts, the earlier stuff that I like that have groove in it. But
Yeah.
South of Heaven, front to back, South of Heaven. Earlier.
Bow Staff records. Those are some of those are front to back. Sorry, what were we talking about? Drummers.
Influences. Yeah.
And then like old drummers like John Bonham, of course.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then
What do bands like BT Bam? What kind of band, like what does your brain do when you listen to like a band like that?
Well, I don't listen to them too much, but I really only like one of their newer records. I don't even like the stuff that like all the real fans like all like the. I think there's a record called Alaska and stuff like
Alaska.
that. That doesn't hit me as much as like one of their new ones. I think it's like a double record or something. I don't even remember what it's called, but I heard it and it was much more toned back. And same thing with like Dillinger. I don't really like most of their records until Mike Patton got involved for Miss Machine. I think it was the record, and that was like whoa, this is. See, I like that controlled chaos. Like somebody got in there and said, hey, this is how we can make you, you know, have a actual controlled sound. You know what I mean?
but that's the beauty of music. That's my opinion, you know. And if everybody had mine, bands would probably be a lot smaller. You know what I mean? But like, I get my stuff from what I want to hear in music, and but I definitely respect and appreciate anybody that's putting anything out, because that's your art. You know what I mean? And it takes nuts to just put out anything. But like, and then Thomas Hawk, Freak. That's a freak. Like that gave me understanding of polyrhythms and how they can still be cool in 4/4, even when they'll tell you it's 13/9. You know what I mean, or whatever. But they'll do this 4/4, and it's like, what is that? Like, you know, like first time I heard.
Yeah.
Dude. I was like, what?
That music video, dude, is the greatest. What's the name of that song? I'm trying to.
Millennium Cyanide Crash.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Fucking A, dude. So let's move on down the line. What's one of your favorite songs to play, cover and original?
Oh.
Coming out with the hard questions here.
Cover. I don't even know.
I don't either. I don't know why I asked this question. I would never want to be asked this question, to be honest.
That's an intense one. Yeah, I'm gonna have to take a pass on that one. Favorite of my own. Indian's pretty.
Oh,
when I play that song, I feel like some of those songs
Start of it all,
Glee,
dude. Start of it all.
But, yeah, and we just had so much time to shapeshift all those songs into exactly what they're like. When I got to the studio, there was probably 2% parts that I didn't know what I was gonna do, you know. But 98 were locked in, like to a T, to where like I went in there and crushed that record out like I did the Silver Chord one, because in a different way, but like I knew everything I was gonna do, you know what I mean? And it was, those parts were that on that song. I thought my transitions were really money on all that. You know,
that fucking song rips.
My creativity on that was running at an all-time high. You know what I mean? My approach to almost every next part was completely unpredictable.
Now,
like,
do you think that comes?
Like you're like, this is kind of brilliant. But like initially, you're like, I know I'm gonna still continue to do this, but like, I did not expect that to be where you started the beat, or you to throw a choke in there for no reason, and like just all of it. You know what I mean?
Now, do you think a lot of that random like creativeness or spontaneity like that on the beats that you would provide in those like earlier stuff is because maybe you didn't, it's like early experience, like do you find yourself, you're playing now as you're getting older, do you find yourself cutting back in certain areas, or do you find yourself being able to tone down the way you would approach certain things?
Interesting you say that, because I think it's just that we write it in different ways now, and it's unfortunate. I think that stuff was like that because we were in a room, because I had the opportunity there in the flesh to understand my vision more of what I want it to be.
Yeah.
And I had the tip of the hat from the people in the room with me of like, yeah, that's fucking, you know.
Yeah. But everyone starts amping off each other, right?
When I'm by myself, I am not feeling that confidence. I'm like, that's, you know, and the same goes for like, I've done how many records now? 15? I don't even know. I don't know how many records I've done, man. But like, it becomes harder to impress yourself. So there's a lot of variables in there. But like, I think the biggest specialness about all of that, like, is the fact that we got to play it over and over and over. And like, my vision was go against the grain, but still have commonality in it. Like be off the beat, but be on the beat. You know what I mean? Like, I tried on purpose to not follow the guitar chugs all the time, because everything I heard at the time was exactly like that. Like,
but you don't want to be like James or like Lars Ulrich from Metallica.
Fear Factory, or even Chimera. Like, every syncopated riff followed with the doubles. So my thing was like, I'm gonna throw my own double bass beat in a section like 3 counts ahead and make it my own rhythm that is different than what's going on the guitar for no damn reason other than that's what I want to do. You know what I mean?
Literally, Cameron and I were just talking about this the other day. I was like, I find it so hysterical that like the softest song out of all of what we've recorded in Silver Chord, Love is a State of Mind, you have like the most insane drum fills out of any of the other 12 songs that you've like ever done on that song. And it's like, it's the wildest shit ever, and I really can't wait for everybody to hear it, because it's so unique that it fits, and it's so not what you expect, but it's that total Austin Dayaman flair to it that just needs to be there.
Is so random.
What's one of the your favorite venue? If you have like a iconic venue that you just love to play, or just played once that was just like, how are we playing this? I know festivals are a little bit different, but as far as like an actual venue itself.
So venue, I'll give you one that's close to home just because it's nostalgic for me, but well, there's 2 close to home nostalgic. So that's the Observatory and then in the Whiskey, because that's where everything started.
Man, I love that I've seen you there at both of those places too.
Yeah. So those are my hometown heroes, but like in recent years I've come to love the most. I am a sucker as a drummer that gives you my all and headbangs and sweats like no tomorrow. I am a sucker for an outside small venue, but it's labeled just a regular venue. So the Gas Lamp Live in Texas, Dallas, Texas. Yeah. It's outside, but it's like it's just got a vibe that I love. And if you're playing at night and it's like fall, you're getting that wind. I don't even need a fan, and I could just swing for the fences all night, and I'm not even feeling it because I'm got that breeze, you know. And that's I love playing outside.
Yeah,
I love playing outside.
That's awesome. Hell yeah. All right, let's see. One last question here, I guess. Let's go with what shit, I was trying to think of how to word this one where it's like more broad.
Ooh, my battery's in.
Oh, your battery's running out? Oh, on your computer?
Yeah, you might lose me.
Okay. Well, then let's just wrap this up.
Nah.
What do you got coming up? What is Austin DeYaman working on that he can tell us about?
So I'm
yeah,
working on some sessions, random sessions for just random people just like y'all out there. So if you're interested, again, I'll just say, you know, hit me up at fnhostile at Gmail, and we could have a discussion on what that entails. And but yeah, that's been my passion right now. I love working with people. I otherwise, without the way everything works today, there's no way that I would be able to do it. And I got mics and a supportive family that lets me do all this all the time upstairs. And I'm doing that, and I'm working towards this set list for the Headbangers Boat.
Hell
so
yeah.
that's kind of the priority right now, and then just giving lessons, getting these folks ready for their next show that's happening in September.
Hell yeah. There were some questions in chat that came up randomly throughout the stream that I kind of was meaning to hold till this part. There was somebody asking, would it be possible for you to play a show that involved two of your bands playing the same set?
I'd be 100% into that. That's actually something I've talked about a lot, marketing that in that way that it would be an easy sell as a package, like whether it be the Elite and
Chimera.
Oh,
you talking about like even like separate like member bands, like so like the Elite?
Yeah, like the Elite and Verona.
Yeah.
That would be the most.
That'd be sick.
That would be the most sense-making one because we're both in the States. Everything else I'm doing, other than us, is abroad. You know.
Yeah.
So.
Pulling some double duty like Tony Campos did with Fear Factory and Static X. Somebody's saying.
Yeah.
Have you ever played at the Santa Monica Galaxy Theater? Santa Monica.
No.
Galaxy Theater. I don't know of that either, myself either. No. There was the last question that the chat had was, what are some of your favorite movies? I decided to throw a random one out there.
Dude, anything horror, anything horror movie or thriller. We actually just saw Trap last night. That was pretty good. It wasn't like the most horror filled, but it was more. I mean, M. Night Shyamalan.
Yeah.
But it was probably the most like tame one he'd ever done. It's still really good, but it was definitely more like a Disney M. Night Shyamalan. But
Okay.
I would say go watch it. It was cool. It had me entertained. But yeah, I like it all. I like the gore. I like the thrillers. I've always loved. I at one point wanted to get like a whole sleeve of all my favorite
Horror characters. Yeah.
Yeah, I love all the Insidious and Conjuring, the old school stuff. You know, Freddy, Jason, Michael Myers, all of that. Yeah, I watch a lot of. My mom hates it, but I watch all these ID discovery things. I find it fascinating that people are murderers. I guess you know. I don't understand how that's where you get. So I'm intrigued by just watching these people unravel, and I'm just like, whoa, this is just wild. That I'm living in that world. That's the world we're living in.
Yeah. Lori says you're speaking her language. One of our mods is obsessed with those types of podcasts and shows and all that stuff.
Dude.
They're really good. They're really good. Well, hell yeah, dude. I appreciate you taking the time out of your day to speak with us about all things.
Thanks for everybody tuning in too, man. I'm always down. I'm always impressed that people are here to watch podcasts for 2 hours and stuff like that too. it's super awesome, dude. It's
Brittany's in the chat. She says she misses you.
Who?
Brittany, the missus. The
Hey,
girls just got back from softball practice, so
Awesome.
yeah.
Yeah, we'll have to make a trip out there sometime soon.
Oh man, dude, having you and Austin, or having you and Cameron out here would be fucking the most ridiculous fun time. We got plenty of space first off, but there's lots to do out here. It's always, ask Cameron. I think he's had a blast every time he's come out here. But have you ever been to Nashville, Tennessee as far as visiting, or has it only been strictly as far as like a tour? You come in, you get out.
Oh yeah, pretty much just what you just said. Yeah. That's kind of
Yeah. Well, we got some stuff to work on as far as Silver Cord goes. So I know Cameron and I are talking about getting some possible podcasts happening like this, where it's like talking music, like you had said, just like talking about some of our favorite albums, or do. Cameron and I even were talking about like it'd be cool to all of us, like the three of us, get on and decide on an album to listen to start to finish, and just give like a commentary like on it, and like, you know, got three different instruments to talk about all the aspects of things. And I think we just got to get started with something, man. I think it would kind of kick the dominoes going, doing some podcasts, you know, getting Cameron, he's getting his audio set up, going to make some content. It'd be cool to see if we could get you to make some content, whether it's drum playthroughs or even something else. And
that's coming. I just got my Yamaha EAD10, so that's coming.
Okay, all right, well, we'll be, guys, keep an eye out. We're gonna be doing Silver Cord's gonna be hitting kicks soon, whether it's just on this channel or Cameron and Austin go live on this channel at some point.
Figure out if the world.
There are eyes on this platform, dude. Twitch, I know Twitch is bigger, but nobody in the music industry gives a fuck about Twitch. There are some singers that are on this platform that have been working with some big time producers here in Nashville. So I'd love to see Cameron go live and get that recognition, and then you go live, and then, there's first official band streaming three separate platforms, three separate channels on Kick here. That'd be pretty sick.
Absolutely. Well, they figure out this latency thing too. We could do a lot of live shows, so.
Yeah, right. Oh, jeez. Yeah, that would be wild.
Dude, it's gonna happen. Come on, AI.
Yeah. Right.
Do it for us.
So. Alrighty, dude. Well, thank you so much for hanging out.
So much, dude.
Anything else you got to say on your way out? Anything we should be looking forward to other than the Headbangers boat coming up?
No, not much of that. Just treat each other right out there, y'all. Reach out to your friends, your family, your loved ones, and take care of yourself.
Absolutely.
Check in with yourself. Be honest. Be humble. Live in humility, and repeat. We're none of this is guaranteed, and we are blessed to have one another, and just keep working on that, man. And things get better, and they always do. We just keep it moving. That's it.
Sounds good, dude. I appreciate those words. I totally agree with those words as well. And guys, I promise you guys new Silver Cord stuff, whether it's unreleased songs or even new stuff, it's coming. Just give us some time, and I think we're gonna get the rest of those songs out by the end of the year. I know that's not your or anyone else's decision. That's literally my this falls on me to make that, so I'm putting that deadline out there, dude. Let's get the rest of those fucking songs out, and let's start making new tunes, because I'm on it, dude. I've been doing some collabs with some other music streamers here, and it's kind of just amped me up. I sent it to Cameron. I didn't send it to you. I'm gonna send it to you afterwards. There's a solo I did on this contest where it was like two musicians pair up and write a song in a week, and you go through and stuff. And the solo that I made on it, I haven't written a solo since any of the Silver Cord stuff for a couple years. So it's I'm gonna steal it and use it. It's got to be a Silver Cord solo. It's too good, dude.
All right, brother. Well, yeah, you've been playing a lot, so I'm sure it rips.
Yeah. I'm definitely up on practice, man. You and me, I think, are good to go. We just gotta get everybody else on par, dude.
Sure.
All right, y'all. You guys have a great night. I think we're gonna go host into Grim. Grim is an awesome guitarist here on Kick, one of the streamers on Twitch that we first ran into. You guys know the guy that is the skeleton that plays guitar. So let's go show him some love, guys. And you guys peace out. Peace, everyone.
Hey.